This conference will now be recorded.
So today we are going to discuss how to create map. Okay. So as yesterday I said you right. Yesterday we were discussing about how do you create the map and all. So let me explain you. Uh, on in mainframe, if you want to create any front-end screen, we will go with the BMS macros, basic mapping support macros. These macros are assembler macros. So there are three macros are there. One is DFH MDS. The second one is DFH MDI. The third one is DFH MDF. So there are total three macros are there. The first macro is to define the map set, to define the screen. If you want to, I'll design a one screen now on the notepad. We will take as it is and we will be having a discussion on the same. So calculator, let's take a login program, login page. Then date. So date I want to print in this pattern, and time as well as time. Whichever symbol you want, you can deal with all of them. Now,
Hello,
so
Venkat.
DFH MDF, yeah.
I think the first one should be MSD, right?
Yeah.
MSD.
Sorry. So user ID, password. Okay, team. So this is the page which we are going to create. Okay. There are three macros: DFH MSD and MDI, MDF. Okay. Maps, map set definition. DFH MSD means map set definition. MDI map set definition input and map definition field. Okay, so map definition field. So these three macros to define the entire screen, n number of screens, any combination of screen. You take 100 maps, 100 screens. Everything we will create with the help of three macros. As I told you, there are two ways to create the map screen. One way is one is through coding, that is BMS macros. The second one is SDF, screen design facility tool. Okay, so using tool we can create a screen as well as. But as I said, we are not going to discuss SDF as part of this training. We are going to discuss BMS macros. Even if you are using SDF, still you should know the logic, you should know the parameters. Okay, so everything will not give as a ready-made SDF. So there are some knowledge is required from the macros point of view also. So now let's come back to the macros. One is the first map set is map set. Okay, so whenever you are defining a map, whenever you are whenever you are creating a screen, okay, so the first you should start with the macro. The first code should start with the DFH MSD macro. Okay, you should start with the DFH MSD macro. Then MDI. Okay, so once you define the map set, what is the map set team? Collection of maps. Collection of maps called as a map set. Collection of the maps called as a map set. So the map set is going to define, is going to control all the maps whichever you are defining under the particular map set. We will see practically how you can create a multiple maps. Then we have a DFH MDI to define the map. To define the map, we use MDI. So it consists of what it contains. It contains the collection of fields. Collection of fields can be called as a map set. Now, what is MDF? To define the field. To define the field, we will go with this macro. To define the field, we will go with the DFHMD. To define the map, we will go with the DFHMDI. And if you want to define the map set, to define the map set, we will go with this macro. So there are total 3 macros are present. We will see practicality. So if you have any class, any doubt regarding the map set, eventually when I am going to show the demo, once I am done with the first demo, still if you have any queries, you are good to ask any question. Now, so team, this is the map set I want to define. This is the screen I want to define. Now, in order to, before we develop the screen, on any screen, there are 3 types of the fields will be there. There are 3 types of fields. One is unprotected field. Then there is something called protected field. Then there is another 2 protected field. There is auto skip field. Now, unprotected means, okay, it is a editable field is called as a unprotected field. Or user, okay, user can enter the data, then they can key the data, or program can send the response, So that is unprotected. Whereas protected field, user cannot enter the data, but system can send the response. Ask field is auto skip field. User, okay, only headers or labels, okay, we will call them. So according to these 3 definitions, I am giving the number string. Assume it, this is the one field, okay, this is the second one, and this is the third one. I am giving a number to take questions to get the answers from your end. So 5. So how many numbers I am giving, that many fields are there on the screen. Okay. So it looks like very small, but there are how many fields are there? 11. Among among 12, among 11, right? Among 11, what are the numbers will come under unprotected? According to my definition, you give me the answer. Unprotected fields, what are the numbers will come unprotected? What are the numbers will be coming under protected? Okay, so what are the fields will come under auto skip? So you are good to give the answers now.
The date and time will be the protected field.
Numbers is important. Date means here we have 2, right? Date is this is the one, correct?
One, 4, 6, 8 are unprotected fields.
Wait. See, okay, I'm going to. It should be 2, right? Yeah. So
No.
2, 4, 8.
this is for this I have given the number 2. For this I have given number 3. For this given the number 4. Okay. For the user ID I have given the 6. For this one I have given the 7. For this I have given the 8. For this iPhones I have given 9, and so on. Now give me the answer, Steve.
Venkat,
6,
the
8.
fields labeled 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 will be escape fields.
1, correct. Next.
2, 4, 6, 8, and 10.
You're giving very fast. I have to catch it. Okay.
Protected field will be 11.
Hey, Karthik. So we can stop. Yeah. Protected fields are what? 11. Okay.
The rest are
Okay,
unprotected.
nice. No.
3 and 5 are also protected fields.
Okay, only two are unprotected. See,
Pro-
we will get the. I'm explaining why. Yeah, tell me, guys. Anything I missed it? Yeah, I'm correcting you. Why I have given 3, 5 is a protected. Okay, let me correct. You're guessing is something wrong. So first of all, let's see the one. One it went to the ASCII fields. Okay, obviously, what is my definition? It is a header. So in the header, user don't enter it. At the same time, system cannot send anything, right? It is a label, indicates, okay, this is a valid page, this is our page. Okay, I'm on the login page. To understand that, we are giving the label. Next, okay, if you populate the value, how we know which is the date or time or some XYZ number. So date also will be 2. So as auto skip field. Then this is also header. Okay, time also user will not enter and system will not send in this header. So user ID is a header, password is a header, message is the header. All are headers. So next, let's discuss 7 and 9. User can enter and system should respond to what user is entered. Similarly, password, what user is entered, what pass. I mean, user will enter the data. Application program also send the response what they entered. Okay, maybe not in this case. Employee details and other screens. Okay, so this one based on your operation, based on the your transaction, if you give the valid user ID password, login is success. If you enter both blank, you will get the message both are wrong. So that message will be populated from the application program. The message will be populated from the application program. That is the reason I kept as a 11 protected. So at the same time, we are not expecting the data from the user to enter the user ID, date and time. The date and time to understand to the user what time they are logging, what time they are logging, date and time. So that is the reason I kept 3 and 5. Okay. So any doubts in these numbers mapping regarding mapping numbers? Tell me. Okay. So I guess everyone is good with this. Okay, team. So I'm going to give another map which I'm going to develop as part of our training. Okay, X, Y, Z blank application. Okay, I'm at the same time I'm giving the numbers instead of coming back and giving. Let's take this one. So date colon so it's XYZ bank. So obviously it should be a customer number, C number 6 1 2 3 4 5. Some customer number we will take something. Customer name it is again it should be a 7. Customer name I will give a number called 8. See, the numbers will not be printed on the screen. For our for our discussion purpose, I am putting the numbers. In real time, numbers will not be there, right? If you take any real scenario, you don't get it, right? Customer number, customer name, customer address, customer phone number. Okay, so customer phone number is done. Then what is the next one? Customer balance. Okay, any bank balance is the common, right? So you start preparing to give the answers to. Okay. So if I missed anything, just ignore it. Okay, but I don't miss in the application in real time scenario. Okay. Okay, team. So this is the application screen I'm going to develop. So unprotect. Tell me first unprotected fields. Guys.
The customer number 7.
No, numbers you test me. Numbers. Yeah, 7.
7.
That's all. I think if the other details will show up if it is in browse mode.
That again, as your point is 100% correct. Team. Depends on the context. These are all the editable. Depends on the context. Some of them editable, some of them are not editable. At this moment, this is the application is accessing by the customer. This is the application is accessing by the not customer, employee. Okay, bank employee. Now he has to insert the new customer details. Okay, so assume it. In that case,
Then these
7,
are all
9, 11, 13, and 16. So next,
okay.
auto skip fields. Okay, are headers 1, 2,
2,
4, 6, 8,
10,
10,
15, 17.
12, and 15, 17.
17.
Next, I will be adding something like this. F1 for add or insert a new customer. F2 for selecting the customer details. F3 for updating the customer details. F4 for deleting the customer details. F5 to refresh the page. F6. Wait, this F6 to delete, exit, quit. So even I will consider entire row as a 1, that is a 19. So now that 19 also will be coming here only. Now, what are the protected fields still? The protected fields are 3
5.
and 5 and 18. 3, 5, 8, 18. Okay, so I hope you are clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's start developing the screen practically now. So log on. So yesterday, yeah, we did not create any PDSs. I'm going to create few PDSs thing. So whenever you are going to write the map code, that is called assembler code. I'll say the assembler code or map screen code. So where we can write, that might be the question, right? So we can write in a PDS, it should be a fixed block, record length 80. Okay, so record length should be an 80. So this is the criteria and condition here. Now, ven dot may 20 dot CICS dot maps. So I'm creating 480 is a record length, 800 it is a PDS. So I created a PDS on PDS. Then I'm creating another PDS for keeping the JCLs. I kept all the JCLs over here. I will write it JCLs. Then to write the programs, I am creating one more PDS. So overall, I created 3 PDSs. Now 3.4. Okay, my PDSs are starting May star CICS May 20 star. Okay, team. These are all the PDSs I created. Now, okay, I will be explaining. In anywhere you can write the map code, team. There is no need of writing every time in the dot maps. Okay, so for our user convenient, okay, for understanding, for future easy reference purpose, I am writing dot maps. So here we will write the map code. The next year we have to write the programs. Okay, we have to write the programs. That is COBOL plus CICS, DB2 or file handling, and whichever is okay, COBOL and associated with other things. You can write it. JCL, all compilers we will keep in the JCL's PDS. Okay, any queries Tim, at this moment?
Any
So load,
copybooks and
yeah. That is symbolic copybook is required. That is S maps. Okay, we will create it. That is also one required. We will do it that also. Okay. So copybooks and all again up to us, right? I can keep symbolic map here itself in this PDF. Okay, so because I can keep any PDF. Now, okay, so let me explain you the team how you can start writing the code. Okay, how you can start writing the code. Team, what I do, I will give first 2 days videos, today's one and tomorrow's one video access to everyone whoever done the payment. Okay, I will give for 2 days access these videos. Please watch them, recap it, whatever we discussed. Because this first time you are watching this concept, so I'm giving a one flexibility to you to replay and to read it that part. You will listen that. Yeah. So the next one, what we are doing, team. Yeah, how you create the map. The syntax is we have to write the macro. The macro it can be DFHMSD or sorry. Okay, name. Okay, the name can be either map name or map set name or field name, whichever is applicable we will write it. Then the macro, then parameters. So the syntax is name, then at least one space, macros, one macro, right? Then parameters. This is the syntax. Okay, again we have some rules are there like JCL only. If you remember, all identifiers should start from first column, operations field should start from second column. There is a rules, right? So from here it should start. Parameter should start from this particular 14th or 15th. Like that, there are some rules are there. There are some rules are there. So how we have a rules? Similarly, when you're writing them, even we have the same rules. Now I'm creating a map called, okay, so J, okay, I'm going with the yeah, so better we go with A log MS. My map, okay, the member name will play the key role here, team. Normally COBOL programmers, how it will play the key role, same here also. A log MS. Okay, so on this environment, the member name and map set name should be same. Should write the same. Okay, should write the same. Now, so I'm using calls. So since I mentioned a log MS, okay, so first you should start with the map set name. Then I'm starting the map name or macro name here, DFHMSD. This is the macro. Then give one space at least, one space. Then you start declaring the parameters. Okay, so we have a parameter mode in and out. Okay, so let me ASSM, yeah, so just to highlight IASM assembler, these are all assembler macros, all will be highlighted in the red color. Okay, so next, what is mode in out? Very important is the parameters. So basic, I will be writing map set parameters. So some of them I'll explain in the today's session. Some of them I'll explain in third or fourth map. Okay, so because few of them you need some little bit experience to understand. Few of them can explain immediately. So we have a mode in Okay, what are the values are possibility mode in slash out slash in out. Okay, so what does mean? So let me, yeah. So can you see mode in out? Mode in means if you write a mode in means it will take only the input from the screen. It will take only the input from the screen. If I go mode equal out, what does mean? It will not allow you to take the data from the user, but it can send the output to the screen. The example is your share market. Okay, if you go to the airport, you will be getting the flight details. If you go to the railway station, you will get the train details on the display board, right? So user is keep on changing, modifying the inputs, no, right? Already everything is scheduled, everything is mentioned, the screen is going to affect. So in that case, human intervention is not required there, right? So that is a mode out. Sometimes only input is enough. Rest of the things happens in the back end. So that in that case, in those applications, I can go with the mode in. And so I want to enter the values. I want to get something from the system. Okay. So this is applicable for all the things, whatever you're defining under this map set. So this is all about mode in out. Next, language. So this is the map. After compiling team, okay, this is early explanation. So, but I have to explain now. Once you compile your map code, it will generate two outputs. One is the load module, that is mission understandable code. The second one is copybook, that is called symbolic copybook. CICS terminology, symbolic map. So what about the load module can be called as a physical map. Don't worry, I'll repeat. So team, if you're not clear in this iteration, in this particular explanation, there are 5 maps I'm going to explain. So you can get a clear picture in any one of them, right? So, okay, CICS is not that much easy compared to COBOL and that. Okay, so that is the reason I'm highlighting the statements. Okay, if I'm teaching the REXX, I don't highlight these are all the points. Okay, so because that is easy for understand Indian COBOL JCL also, but this is something little bit of new terminology and which we did not see earlier in our experience. Now let's come back to this content. So load module is a physical map. Hello.
Yeah, one question. When you put map set parameter, a couple lines up, you put in, out, and then you put input. Did you mean to put in, out on your notes?
This is just I'm writing. I'm mentioning the syntaxes, the possibility values,
Right.
the possibility values which you can write over here. So now I use the mode equal in out.
Okay.
Or you can use mode in, or you can use mode out. That is a meaning of this
Right.
option.
And on your notes it says input. So I thought maybe
Okay,
you wanted
sorry.
to use that.
Okay. So it is in only. Okay. Sorry. Okay. In out. Okay. So that is in out. Yeah. Thanks for correcting me.
Sure, yes, sir.
Okay. Team. Now. So it generates the one copybook. That copybook, okay, we are going to use. See, you are developing a screen, right? In that there are so many fields are there. So those fields I have to refer somewhere. Okay, I have to refer in one language. Correct. The screen, whatever you are preparing, those variables should be accessed somewhere. So that language you are going to specify. So I am going to use this copybook, whatever it is going to generate from here, COBOL. So if you want to see what are the languages, somebody asked me, can we use this one? Okay, you can use COBOL, the assembler, PL1, RPG. Okay, I did not work on all of them, but theoretically I can explain it. Okay, the map, whatever you develop, you can use in the assembler language. You can use PL1, I guess PLN that is the one, RPG. More than that, there are few more languages also there just to explore that part. Okay, so language. Next, we have something called storage. So give me some time. This I'll explain you later. Storage is auto. We have CNTL. So what is the CNTL team? We have parameters. So let's say, okay, I have to write a lengthy parameter, but I cannot able to write on the same line. So very important, each parameter is separated by comma. Each parameter is separated by comma, and whenever you want to go to the continuation parameter, comma, comma, then you give star. Okay, you have to give the star or X. Okay, 73th position X or A. So any single character needs to be mentioned over there. Then the continuation parameter from 15 or 16, you have to start it. CNTL. Okay, so I'm writing you one parameter called CNTL, pre-keyboard. Okay, so we have something called pre-keyboard. What is the meaning of pre-keyboard? By default, whenever you throw the screen, whenever you display the screen, by default your keyboard will be locked. By default your keyboard will be locked. So which I don't want to do it. Once I throw the map, that particular screen should allow me to enter the data. Then I have to go with the pre-keyboard. So release the keyboard. Okay, don't lock it. That is the meaning of it. Then we have something called alarm. Okay, so we have something called alarm. Whenever the screen is displaying, you should get some beep sound. If you want to get the beep sound, if you know, did you remember? If you go to the ATM missions, once you insert, you will get some beep sound. Something when you want to get the similar sound, we will go with the alarm. There is a pre-keyboard. Okay, we will discuss about it. Okay, pre-keyboard is not what is mentioned, unlock the keyboard, not that. Yeah, sorry. I'm talking about Fset. Sorry, Fset. Field, field to reset the MD to 0. What is? We have a concept called modified data type. Anyhow, we will discuss it. Okay, those are all optional. So, what are the parameters we have seen? Team? One is we have seen code parameter, language, storage, and CNTL. So let me see. There is another parameter which is very important. Type. Okay, type is a parameter. So what are the possibility values which I can write? I'll be writing here. Now, the possibilities values thing. Let me go to the first and write it, and you will get an idea. Ampersand CICS Part. Okay, so let's come back to the notepad. See, I was telling you, right? You can generate from the map. There are two outputs. One is the load module and copybook. So you want to only load module, that is called physical map. You mention type is equal to, okay, so the type is equal to ampersand, type is equal to map, physical map. You want only copybook, mention type is equal to dset here, but I want to get both of them. One is physical map. I want to use the physical map in my program. And I want to use physical map and symbolic map. Then that is the reason I'm going to generate both of them. I'm going to generate both of them. So now we specified type is equal to sysform. We need both of them. So any queries here, please? So at this moment, do you have any queries? Now there are few more parameters are there. Okay, if I want to blink it, if I want to mask the password, if I want to get the underline, if I want to highlight, some of the fields are in red color, some of the fields are in green color, in some different color. All of them, there are few more parameters are there. We will see that slowly. Now I'm defining one map. That is, the map name is a log ms1. That is my map set name. Sorry, map name. So we are done with the map set team. We are done with the map set. Then I'm going to define another map. Now map. Within the map set, maps will be there. Map, single map or multiple map. I will show you in this particular demo two maps. So DFH, MDI, and the size. What is the map size you want? I want to use 10 rows and 80 columns. 10 rows and 80 columns. Okay, you said 10 rows, 80 columns. That is the first 10 rows, or second 10 rows, or third 10 rows, or last 10 rows. That is going to decide based on the line equal 1, column equal 1. If I column equal 1. If I mention 2 means from second column, from there it will take 10 lines. If I give us 9, from 9th row, it will take 10. Nothing but from here. Like 9 means it will be coming nearby that, right? So it will be coming like this. So in this particular screen, you are going to take for this map. So now I'm mentioning line 1, column 1. So what does
The
mean?
maximum
First
can
10 rows.
24.
24 rows. Here you can mention the
Yes,
size
24
24 rows. Correct. Okay, so the column. So this is how you define the map team. Okay, this is how you define the map. Now, what I want to showcase to you, I want to display, I want to write this login page. So now this is a header. As we discussed, we don't want to enter the values. User don't enter the values, application program will not send. So hence there is no point of giving the name for that. So DFH MDF, DFH MDF to define the field. Position, this field you want to start from second row or third row. So whatever you are defining within this map name, you should use first 10 only. So Venkat, I like my private number is 14. I will start from first column. It will throw error. Okay. So because you said I'm going to use first 10 bytes, sorry, just first 10 rows for this map. Then how you can use 14th row? No, right? Because the whatever the fields you are defining within the map, it should be within the 10 rows only. So now I am defining in the second row, 20th column. So what is position means? Because we use predominantly this one thing multiple times. Okay, row number of the field, starting row number of the field, and column number of the field. So now I'm starting second row, 20th column. What you want to print, that is will be written with a parameter called initial. So I will say login page. Now, what is the total length of the field team? Count it. Now we have to count manually. The login file, here is a 4, 9, including one space. The length is, it should be a 10 or greater than 10. Very important is, let's say this is a 10, I like my favorite number is 6. It will throw an error because always the length should be greater than initial number of characters, or it should be equivalent. Two things should be there. It can be 15, no problem. It can be equal, no issues, but it should not be less than the total number of characters what you specified in the initial. So login is a 5 plus 4, 9, 10. Okay, so everything is good. Next, attribute. What is your intention of this? You want to do anything? Auto skip. Auto skip means it will not place the cursor at all here. If you take a real-time example, Facebook, Gmail, once you open a Facebook, cursor is going to place first row, first column, or it is going to place in the user ID password. There are some headers also, right? Before user ID password, like Facebook title will be there. So control is not placing there, correct? Because if you place, what is the meaning of it? No. That is the reason I auto skipped it. Okay, auto skip means cursor will never place the cursor on this particular field at all. Now it's time for you to ask the questions, please. Okay.
One question, please.
Yeah.
So, in the maps definition, what are the parameters which are mandatory?
See, mandatory, or you can mention type, Okay, mode. Okay, these are all mandatory. Rest all are optional.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, we will try that as well as by deleting. Once we done the first one or first or two maps, then we will explore that also. Yeah,
I think we
So
can also
Venkat,
set the color, right?
yeah,
you continue.
I think
yeah.
we
Any
can
queries?
set the color.
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, yes. I want to say that in the field, I think we can set a color.
Pillar.
Color.
Ah, we do it. That's what I said, right? This is the first. I told you, no. We did. Yeah, go on mute, everyone.
Okay.
Okay. So trick. Yeah. So I told you right already. There are some fields over here. If I want to use a color, first of all, the parent parameter should be used over here. Without defining here, if I define also no purpose. So that is the reason that we will see in the second map when I am going to explain. First, we will go with the our budget is very less now. We will go with the low. Once we increase our budget, then we'll learn. Okay, rest of the things. Okay, then we will go with the different models, different colors and all. Okay, fine. Right. So this is the done.
But, so you have used 70 in 72nd column. You have used A. So this is the only place we can write the continuation character.
You cannot write anywhere. Okay. So you have to put comma. Whenever you mention the comma, your intention is something is there on the next line. At the same time, A should be there. So wherever comma is there, team, you are supposed to write on 72 as full character. It can be X, it can be Y, or star, hash, something. Okay. Usually I'll write star or X, Y, Z, A characters.
Because I have seen XX means just after a few spaces after comma. I've seen like maps XXXX like that.
Is it
Not in
okay? We will
72nd,
try.
not in 72nd column.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see then. Okay. Why not? We will see it. Don't worry. So remind me, whatever the points you're saying, we will implement. So, okay, even if I'm wrong, I can learn, right? So we are good to, execute, right? So just to remind me, once we are done with the first positive test case, then we will go with the negative part. Whatever you said, I'll be to experiment it. Now, any other?
When the spaces he's talking about, could that be for comments, like similar as JCL, or no?
Where here you're asking?
Yeah.
No, that is not for comment. Okay.
Okay.
So it should be. It is not a comment like this. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Just because he said he saw it, I thought I'd offer that.
No, what he said that you are asking our participant question.
He mentioned seeing an XX somewhere before line 70, before column 72. So I thought I'd ask if about another potential.
Okay, so what you raised a point. Okay, is it mandatory to write the comment on 72F?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as per his knowledge, where he saw, okay, where he has seen, he's seen the some messages over here, XXX over here. Okay, so that is his question. We said, I told that let's execute it later after some time. Okay, right. So the next we will define date colon next. So this also we no need to queue anything team. Let's go with a DFH MDF position third row. Okay, so I'm going with the third row and for 50th column and initial equal date colon comma length 5 comma attribute auto skip. So same what I did on the demo field. Similarly, now, and one more point tip, very important when you're defining. First, Venkat, I will define this first, this at the second row. Then I will start the first row. It will not allow. Okay. Whatever you want to do before you start date, any requirement is there to build before rows columns, you define and come back to the date. But randomly, whichever the field you want to repeat, you want to define, that is not allowed in the map definition. So you have to go with the columns and rows wise. Rows, then start row, then that column, in that row, any column is there, define it, then come back to the second column, and it's like that. So order is also very important. You cannot define first user ID, then you will come back to the login, to not allow. It should be equal. Yeah. The next one team, I have to define, this is a protected field. So, and user will, when application program has to send something to here. So I will give DT. The field name is, yeah.
I have a question. I have read that if the position parameter determines the location of the attribute byte.
Location parameter?
The position parameter determines the location of the attribute byte. Means we have this byte which is in each field.
Right, is it the data or the attribute byte?
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah. So can you repeat that? I'm trying to get the, what text.
I think the position parameters determines the location of the attribute byte for each field, right?
What attribute field? What does mean? What is your point? I understood that it is a position of the attribute field. What is attribute field here?
I want to know that I think I have read somewhere that we have to means the position here given we have to write actually the 1 byte later position we have to give in the position field.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Yeah, that will be there. Okay. That is there when we are going to discuss protect and unprotected, right? That will be okay. I got it. Your point now.
Oh, okay. That means that are only for protect and protect.
No. It's not about that. Okay. As you said, 1 point will be taken, 1 byte will be taken. The point what you said initially correct. Okay. I agree. That we did not cover.
The point that I was saying that he was asking, like, for example, on line 4, you have position 2-20. Is that 2 the attribute byte and the data starts on 3?
We will see that also. Is it? Okay.
What he's saying, I just want to say that one.
Okay, we will see that also. What I do, team, let's finish this part alone. Okay, so I want to define only these 2 fields. Let's have a entire map end to end. Okay, so I don't have any other fields to define, assume it. So what I do, DFH MSD type is equal to final and end. So this is in interview they will ask you. Okay, so in interview they will ask you how many times DFH MSD will be used in map set definition. Okay, so definition, it will be 2 times. One is to define the map set. The second one is to indicate in the map set. Okay, so this is the answer you are supposed to give it. So anyhow, I guess it seems 9:55. So we will finish. We'll wind up the call for today. So we'll see the rest of the things tomorrow. So let me stop the recording.